Shit. Hey everybody, my name is Niall. Welcome back to the show. I am a little drunk, but it's fine. So let's just get on to the video. Hold on a second. I'm gonna turn that off, and then. So in my last video, if you watched until the end, which I'm pretty sure none of you do because my average watch time is pretty abysmal. But if you did, you'll notice at the end of the video I promised a surprise, a special type of video for this one. I can barely speak. I was gonna do that, but something came up in the sphere of YouTube, and no, I'm not talking about iDubbbz's Content Cop. And I just needed to talk about this, so the special surprise video that I talked about last time, it's gonna be put to the side, it's gonna be put on the back burner for now. I'll have that soon, TM. But for now, there's this beautiful video on YouTube that was uploaded after the recording of my last video that I wanted to talk about because this perfectly segues into a topic I've been wanting to talk about for a while now.
Vsauce. I'm Jake, and the hardest part of making a video is not making one at all. What you do see is a finished product, the culmination of hours that turn into days, that turn into weeks, and in some cases, turn into months. But we aren't going to be talking about those movies you end up watching. We're going to talk about the ones that you don't. For every video of mine that goes public, there are at least 2 or 3 that never make it that far. And the usually long space between movies can be viewed as procrastination, but it isn't. It's a process.
This is the topic I've been wanting to talk about for a while now. It's YouTubers trying to get pity points out of their audience, saying like, oh, my videos take so long to make, they're so hard to do. I'm not getting monetized. Please help me. Please support me. I think this is kind of a scumbag thing to do. Now before we get any farther in this video, I want to say that I don't hate Jake at all. I actually really like Jake. Vsauce 3 is my favorite Vsauce channel, and I love his stuff, even though they take forever to come out. But when they do come out, I drop everything I'm doing and watch it. But I don't think that just because I like someone doesn't mean they're free from being criticized. And so I really feel like I need to talk about this video. And I know what you're all thinking. Niall, you're drunk, go home. Yes, I am. But this is very opinion based. There's no facts or data or anything like that in this video. This is very opinion based. So I think you should take what I say with a grain of salt, considering my alcohol level right now. I think what I'm saying is still at least somewhat valid. So, you know, take this however you will. I'm not saying that this video is bad. Sometimes you sort of do need to explain what goes into making a video so that your audience isn't like, oh my god, you're so lazy. What are you doing, man? You need to be putting out more content, man. You're a YouTuber, it's your job. And sometimes you're like, well, I am putting out content, it's just, this is the speed at which I put out content, and I don't know what to tell you. And so sometimes YouTubers do need to make videos like that so that people don't think they're lazy or don't think they're procrastinating, stuff like that, like he said. But he takes it a little bit of a step further, and this is what I had to call fishing for pity. It's very common in YouTube, and I'll get into other examples. I'm not singling out Jake. It's just that this is the most recent example I can find. But there's a lot of other YouTubers I'm gonna be talking about. Some of which I am also subscribed to, and I like them a lot. But it annoys me when YouTubers do this.
It starts with researching, trying to answer a question by reading books and articles and scientific journals. This part of the process generally takes a few weeks. Then comes writing the script, condensing every relevant piece of information I've gathered and forming it into a narrative, a cohesive structure that expresses the story I want to tell. This takes about a week. Then I film it with my friend Eric. This is the fastest part of the process since I know exactly what I need to say and what I need to show. A day-long endeavor.
So this part of the video isn't too bad. He's just explaining what goes into making a Vsauce video, sort of telling his fans like, hey, I'm not being lazy. It actually does take this long to make a Vsauce video, which I can completely understand. All of his videos are scripted, planned out, and that probably takes a few weeks. None of my videos are scripted, so I can't even imagine, you know, how that is. All of his videos are planned out, scripted, everything, and then they're recorded, and then he probably puts in like an ass load of time editing each video, considering just in that one scene, you saw how many special effects he was using. You saw like 3 Jakes in one frame. I'm pretty sure that takes a lot of editing, especially with the same like fluidity that he had. So this part of the video isn't too bad, but let's go a little deeper.
And lastly, we get to editing. Putting all those pieces together visually, layering in music and graphics and all those little moments that make a complete story. But along the way, there will likely be a glitch. During the researching process, it might come to the point where what I wanted to talk about doesn't make sense. It doesn't fit the narrative that I wanted to tell, so I stop. And then sometimes the script just falls apart.
Okay, so like I said before, he likes to be very artsy, very like poetic in his videos. There are sometimes where I'm watching a Vsauce 3 video and I have no idea what he's talking about because it just goes right over my head. But essentially what he's saying is sometimes when I'm making a video, I plan it out, I script it, I record it, I edit it, and then while editing it, I watch it back and I'm just like, I'm not very happy with this video, I'm just gonna not upload it. Which I can completely understand. I don't really have that mindset because in my mind, I'm thinking, okay, my audience wants content, I will put it out there for them. Even if the video ends up being a complete train wreck, like the video I'm putting in the iCard right now, it was entitled, Can Pugs Be Nazis Too? And I was essentially talking about the whole, the controversy surrounding Count Dankula and his sentencing for making a joke. And if you go and watch that video, which I don't recommend, but it's in the iCard, so if you want to watch it, you can. It's a train wreck. Like I said in the video, this video really hit a dead end. Like this whole video is a fucking train wreck. I don't even know if I should upload this, because it's so bad. But the way I see it is, when you're in a situation like that, then it becomes your job to fix the video through editing and then upload it anyway, and hopefully it can at least be entertaining for the audience to watch. Like I remember, you know, this will be in the iCard too. I remember watching a Chris Ray Gun video where it was it's kind of an old one. It was back when he lived in New York, but it was one that it literally went nowhere. Like, you can see in the video, he was confused, he was lost, the video was going nowhere, it became a complete train wreck. He still uploaded it, and he ended up making it very entertaining. That's like one of my favorite Chris Ray Gun's videos to date. Because it's very funny. He turned a train wreck into entertainment, and that's sort of a YouTuber's job, is to make comedy where comedy doesn't exist, or make some kind of entertainment where entertainment doesn't exist. They do their best to make something out of what they have, and then they upload it for the world to see, so that at least they have some kind of content out there for their audience to watch and be entertained by. That's the way I think. But I can also see his point of view, where if it's not perfect, if it doesn't meet my expectations, I don't want to upload it. I can completely understand that. At the end of the day, his video style is an art form. Like, it really is. He has a lot of passion for what he does. He puts a lot of effort into making art out of a video, and so I can completely understand why he wouldn't want to upload something that doesn't meet his expectations or his standards. But again, he goes a little further with it, and that's when he sort of tries to fish for pity.
And then I think to myself, how do I do this? Why do I do this? Does the story that I'm trying to tell need to be told this way? Will anyone care? And then there's an occasion, a rare occasion, where I film a video, I edit a video, and then I decide it's not good enough, so I never release it. I abandon something that I've put everything I had into, and there it sits, stuck. And then you start to think to yourself that maybe it's not that the video isn't good enough, but that I'm not good enough because I'm a hack, I'm a fake, and if I start making another video, it'll end the same way. And you beat yourself up because I'm terrible, I'm a failure. And you just keep beating yourself up and you want to punch the ground and there's a voice screaming inside your head that's trapped in there and you just want to let it out and go, "Ah!"
So now you see what I mean by he's kind of fishing for sympathy there. He's fishing for pity from his audience. He's talking about how he feels like he's not good enough whenever a video gets stuck in limbo like that, and then he falls into a state of depression where he doesn't upload for a while, and that's the reason why sometimes there's like a month or 2 or even 3 months between each video. And my opinion is you really didn't have to do that. All you really needed to do was say, hey, videos take a long time to make, I'm not lazy. If the whole point of making this video was to get those comments to stop saying you're lazy, you're procrastinating, then that's all you really need to do. Just explain to people, hey, my video style takes a long time to make. It's not that I'm lazy, it's that I plan my videos, I script them, I record them, I very heavily edit them, and that's why they take so long to make, which I can completely, like I said, I can completely understand his reasoning when he says that. And sometimes my videos don't meet my expectations, and therefore they're not uploaded. And that's he could have just stopped there. He could have just ended the video there, and boom, he's done. He has his explanation out to the world, and then if he monetizes the video, which I think he did, yeah, he did, he gets a little bit of money off of it. So he could have just stopped there, but he had to go a little further and fish for sympathy from his audience, because sympathy is where you get support, support is where you get money. And I think that's a really scumbag thing to do. I think it's kind of a dick move to try and fish for sympathy from your audience to get them to give you more money. Woo! Sorry about that. My phone went off and it stopped the recording. So yeah, let's just see what other points he makes in the video, and then we'll continue from there.
And then you take a breath. That voice inside you now telling you to get up, but you don't want to, you can't. You like the comfort of slipping into that black hole further and further. It is so much easier to do nothing than to risk another failure. Just keep slipping. Down and down you go. But then it hits you. There is more to do. These perceived failures don't define you. It's only when you decide that you're a failure that you have failed. So you get up. And it's not money or popularity or perceived fame that drives you. It's that this is the only thing you know how to do. It's the only way to quell that voice in you. Those claws that wring your stomach into knots and force you to create. Not because you want to, but because you have to. There is no finish line in this race. It continues on forever. A fractal image of success. The reason a video dies isn't necessarily because I'm not good enough. It's because my idea of good enough gets elevated every time I make a video. I need to push myself. I need to be better to make better. So I ask myself every time I sit down to work on one of these movies, the question that I have embedded with ink into my flesh. Why are you here? To make something I never thought I could. Things that are easy are generally never as rewarding as those that are hard. And, as always, thanks for watching.
So at the end of the video, he proceeds to turn this depressing video into a motivational video. While also making it into a motivational video, he also says, this is the only thing I'm good at, therefore that's what motivates me. So it's kind of like a self-hate type of motivation, and it's just this like loop of uncertainty. And then he talks about how, you know, this is just, you know, a fractal image of success. It's a loop. It keeps going. I have to keep working to feel fulfilled in my life. He then pulls up a sponsor at the end of this video, which Monetizing the video I can understand, but if you're trying to make a video explain to your audience why it takes so long to make a video, I don't really think you should end it out on a sponsorship, you know what I mean? Monetizing the video is already kind of sketchy, but I don't think there's anything wrong with it at the end of the day. This is your job. Your job is to make videos, so you should, you know, have it monetized, or else you're not making any money off of it. But a sponsorship is pushing your luck a little bit, Jake. I think you need to rethink how you do things on this platform, because this whole fishing for sympathy thing, you're a little late. I think most people nowadays know YouTubers do this a lot. They know how to detect it, and they get a little turned off when that radar in their head goes off saying, hey, this video is fishing for sympathy. It's a little bit of like, hey, you know, this video isn't really genuine. And like I said, I almost said Jake Paul. Jake Roper. Oh Lord, oh God. But like I said, Jake isn't the only offender. There's multiple others. I know, and then there's Lost Pause, which is another YouTuber I'm subscribed to. I don't watch like every video of his, but I watch a good amount of videos he uploads. I love the guy. I love his comedy and everything. But he does this thing where whenever he makes a serious video, like YouTube demonetizing his videos, meeting Jack and Markiplier at Disneyland, you know, hitting 1 million subscribers, getting the 1 million subscriber plaque, breaking up with his girlfriend, stuff like that. He always puts some kind of like really sad music in the background. He always cries in the video, and in some videos you can tell it's really forced crying. And then he always sort of tries to make it motivational, which again is like the best way to get pity from your audience. And then as for the one where he talked about demonetization, he sort of, not really pressured, but he encouraged his audience to go and watch his Twitch streams and donate to him and stuff like that, so that he can continue making videos on YouTube. I don't think it's really that bad. I don't really think it's inherently bad to ask for support or some kind of donation from your audience. But when it turns into an offense is when you ask for support or donations from your audience in a way that tugs at their heartstrings and causes them to feel sympathy for you. That's where it's kind of like, okay, that's kind of a dick move. And then there's the infamous I'm Leaving Smosh video by Anthony Padilla, and I don't think I really have to explain at all why this video is obvious audience manipulation and sympathy fishing. Just watch the video and you'll understand what I mean. It's really obvious. It's a pretty bad offender in most people's views. And you might notice that when I talked about Anthony Padilla, it was the first time I mentioned audience manipulation, because I think his case was the only one I listed where he was blatantly manipulating his audience. Now, what do I mean by manipulating his audience? Well, that's a great question, and it's a great segue into the next topic I wanted to talk about. Audience manipulation is when you sort of subliminally transfer the thought into your audience minds, that if they're a true fan of yours, they need to watch every single video you put out. And if they don't, then, well, I may not be here, you know? I may not have enough money to be able to stay on this platform. You really failed me as a fan, you know? Now, I can name a lot of YouTubers who do this. Onision being the top of the list. He's known on this platform for being the ultimate manipulator of his fans. But I think you understand what I'm getting at. Now, I want to say this right now. I want to make this perfectly clear. I want to ingrain this in your heads. Do not support me in any way. Right now on YouTube, I'm doing this purely for fun. Okay, this is my own enjoyment. No offense to any of you guys, but I'm not doing this for you in the slightest. I'm doing this for my own enjoyment, my own pleasure. This is just something for me to pass the time and have some fun when I'm just sitting at the house doing jack shit. playing with my dick all day. In the future, like at 10K or 100K subscribers, when it does become my job, albeit part-time, I still don't think you should support me in any way. Alright? At that point, my job is to put out content for you to watch and be entertained by. If I'm not doing my job correctly or at all, throw me to the fucking curb. Find someone who can do my job better or at all if I ever decide to just up and leave this platform. If you ever find yourself feeling like you don't enjoy my content, do not hesitate to unsubscribe. Find someone else who can entertain you. At the end of the day, that is our job. That is our job as content creators, as YouTubers. It is our sworn duty to entertain you guys, and in return, we get paid by the platform. Do not ever feel like you are obligated to watch my videos, obligated to stay subscribed. If I start a Patreon or some kind of merch line like every YouTuber now does, don't feel obligated to support me in any way. If you like a shirt, if you like the way it looks, buy it. If your job is not to give me money for something, for work that I'm not doing. Alright, so I think that's it for today. I think my rant, all my rambling is done for now. I'm gonna go get a bottle of water and try and sober up. Or I can strip down and do a dick helicopter outside. You know, whichever I feel like doing first. But just know that the surprise special video will be up either next week or sometime in November. But it will be up, I promise you, because this is something I actually want. I think this is gonna be a lot of fun, both for me to do and for you to watch. So yeah, guys, this will be it for me today. Subscribe to the channel if you want to see more content like this. Leave a like if you enjoyed.